Hi and welcome to this latest video in the series explaining the law of attraction from eternalliberty.com. My name is Dan and I want to help you live the life that you desire.
Faith and affirmations. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Henry Ford. By now, you may be convinced that using the law of attraction is less about using the manifestation process and more about being the person you want to be. Then you live faithfully in that conception of yourself until it manifests. We manifest what we believe, not what we want. Change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live, said Neville Goddard. Faith and affirmations are two very important themes in their own right, in understanding how the law of attraction works. I decided to pair them together to enable you to see a very important development in how many of you can use the law of attraction to your advantage in the way I did. At the end of the previous chapter on your inner speech, you will have first seen that the 3 remaining chapters of part 2 of the book will explain how to control your daily thoughts so that you are always using the law of attraction to your advantage. We begin by framing your day with a new state of consciousness. This means to affirm at the beginning and end of the day the person you want to be, using affirmations you will write in an exercise later. At the same time, live in faith every day that you are already the person you desire to be until it manifests. In the first half of this chapter, we look at faith, what it is and how we can increase it. In the second half, we will apply key principles to being the person you want to be by developing the daily use of affirmations to transform your life. This chapter is the first of 3 chapters that are best considered to be complete when read together. Therefore, I strongly advise that once you have read chapters 13 and 14, that you reread all 3 again, so the learning material can be seen in its entirety and allowed to be absorbed as one. In Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1, the Bible says, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." The purpose of this chapter, however, is to understand faith by turning around the well-known phrase, "seeing is believing," into "believing is seeing," as Neville Goddard put it. In the time between using the manifestation process and the events that lead to the manifestation actually taking place, you need to assume to be the person who already has what you want on the inside. You do not know how long this will be, only that there is an appointed time. In the meantime, you need to remain faithful to the belief that you already have what you want. You need to live in the belief you are already the person who has what you desire to manifest. This period can be likened to a mother pregnant with a child. You know a baby is on the way, so every thought and decision is in faithful anticipation of the healthy arrival of the child. With the manifestation of what you want using the law of attraction, you do not know the due date. So just know that what you desire is on its way, and do nothing to manifest it, just as expectant parents do nothing to help the baby develop, other than live their daily lives. In the previous chapter, we introduced the practice of affirmations to develop your faith and believe you are the person you want to be now. To have what you wish to manifest means you need to move from an old state of consciousness to a new state of consciousness. Changing your state of consciousness can be likened to living in a better home than the current one you live in. Imagine you are in bed, then imagine a view of a beach out of your window. It may seem difficult at first to imagine this out of your current window, But close your eyes and ears and start to dream of such a view. With more and more practice, you can add more and more detail into your scene. Stay loyal to this view every night, adding more and more detail constantly, until it feels so real, like you are really falling asleep in this room. The only faith you need to manifest whatever you want is to believe in the process. After that, it takes the same amount of faith to manifest £10 as it does £1,000,000, because in both cases, in all cases, it requires you to move from an old state and live in a new state of consciousness. This may seem hard to believe at first, but it is true. It is the same process always, and is, in other words, believing is seeing. Any doubt arises from believing the evidence from the outside world using the 5 physical senses, or seeing is believing. This is usually from lack of self-worth that you can have what you dream and desire. Close the door on the senses and look within. This is where the power is found and the treasures are kept. If you do feel unworthy of this working for you, then make the increase of your self-worth your first major manifestation. Create a new state that you are so incredibly worthy of anything, and use the exercises that follow to manifest this new version of you. The more you imagine living from the new state, the quicker it will manifest. The more your daily thoughts are in adherence to your old bedroom, the longer your new bedroom will take to manifest, as your subconscious has to keep manifesting the old version first. When Michelangelo sculptured his famous statue of David, he believed the sculpture already existed within the stone, and all he had to do was remove the outside stone to reveal David inside. To increase your faith means to increase your belief in the manifestation process, to deliver you a happier and more desirable life. I found 3 extremely important attitudes to adopt that vastly improved my own faith. The first is to believe fully in the manifestation process and thereby let go of the temptation to interfere with your outer physical world because of what your senses are observing. The second is to believe everybody, and I mean everybody, is helping you. Finally, to understand what I want wants me. We have said recently that it is just as easy to manifest £10 as it is to manifest £1,000,000. If you still believe you have to interfere in some way in the outer physical world to manifest any sum of money, or that you accept that the outer physical world is telling you that you don't have the money, is to believe the process itself does not work. A second and equally important concept, one I struggled with myself for years, is to believe that everybody, and yes, I mean everybody in your outer physical world, is helping to manifest what you desire for you. This is one of the main cruxes of everything you have learned and will learn in this book. Consider a situation that many of you may experience in one form or another. Assume you are trying to manifest an increase in income, or say a better job. Then you are fired from your current job. Your first reaction is negative. However, this is not a coincidence. There are no coincidences in the universe, and therefore believe the outcome of this is for your best. People align to help you, so see the positive in everything, and say thank you always. Your mind is creative, so make it up if you have to, and believe it. You're doing this daily anyway, but in circumstances that are unlikely to be in tune with your happiness. So mentally have a conversation about what happens that makes you feel happy. I've lost my job. This means something better will manifest. Thank you. Change your attitude to see the positive in the meaning of all events, of everything that happens. Make it your aim, your attitude, to see the best in every person, in every event, in every circumstance. As the late great Dr. Wayne Dyer put it, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Give thanks to everyone you meet. Believe every single person you encounter is helping to manifest your every dream and desire. Give thanks to them for all their help. They are helping you. You do not need to know how. So as you walk down the street, mentally say thank you to people passing you by. You do not need to speak to them aloud. You will emit vibrations of gratitude that they will receive subconsciously. Of course, if you can thank somebody verbally, then do so. Another important thing that you can do is to stop complaining about anything, about anybody. Complaining is negative. Stop complaining about others, and stop complaining about yourself. Otherwise, you will manifest the very nature of your complaints. Blame nobody for your life and experiences. People are simply reflections of your consciousness. If you did the exercise in the previous chapter correctly, you will not have had a single complaint for 28 days. Instead, therefore, give thanks to everything and everybody. Finally, say this: what I want also wants me. Go on, say it again and again. This expression is just a different way of expressing the law of attraction, which is like attracts like. Now, does knowing this make your day immediately feel a whole lot better? Whatever you want, whatever it is, wants you. Keep saying it. This could be the only affirmation you need. Use it every day, every hour, every minute of every day. Daily affirmations is a concept that can be very powerful when executed correctly. To affirm means to make firm. Once the subconscious accepts the statement in an affirmation as fact, then it will proceed to do everything to bring your wish into fulfillment as a fact. The purpose of affirmations is therefore to convince your subconscious mind that something you desire is already true. This is also why affirmations have to be repeatedly said with conviction each time until a new belief is programmed into your mind. To use affirmations is to repeat a positive, empowering statement about yourself over and over, to impress a new belief by suggestion into your subconscious mind that forms a description of your new ideal state of consciousness. In this chapter, we will look at the overall concept of affirmations in conjunction with the law of attraction. There will be examples to illustrate their use in this chapter. However, for more specific life-changing examples, such as seeking your life partner or wealth, there will be several chapters devoted to this in part 3 of the book. The subconscious mind is always open to suggestion and auto-suggestion. It is a sad fact that most thought, leading to seeds planted into the subconscious, is produced by the outside suggestion of others. It is even sadder still to have to admit that the majority of people accept this suggestion without either examining it or questioning its value or danger. Many read the daily newspapers or social media as if every word is truth. How many hear the news or read newspapers and then simply believe what is somebody's opinion to be fact? We are so easily swayed by the gossip and idle chatter. For what purpose? How many would admit they are easily opened to external suggestion of others? In his famous book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill writes that you have the power to control your thoughts and create belief. He suggests using what he calls auto-suggestions, but we now commonly call them affirmations. So the practice of affirmations is to utilize the power of suggestion into the subconscious for our benefit to manifest our dreams and desires. To use the law of attraction to our advantage, we will use and review affirmations daily to put a frame around your soil that is the subconscious mind, so that we only sow the good seeds of positive thoughts of what we desire into that soil. To affirm anything is to say to yourself, for example, I am healthy. Equally, it is not, I will be healthy, as this states what we want is always in the future. Now you may say an affirmation such as, I am rich and prosperous now, I am successful, and I am very wealthy. Such an affirmation may actually succeed in doing nothing more than make you even more aware of your lack or need on a repeated basis. This will happen if you believe more in lack or poverty than you do wealth and riches. So we have to be skillful in creating the right affirmations. Instead say, all my financial and other needs are met at every moment in time and point in space. Or, every day I am moving forward intellectually, materially and financially towards my goal. These affirmations are less of a giant step towards your big goal, and your subconscious mind will find them more believable and acceptable. Equally, why do you think I am a millionaire is a poor choice of affirmation, unless you happen to be a millionaire? Up till now, you have been affirming all day, every day, with your thoughts and actions that you do not have £1 million. So to now use an affirmation, I am a millionaire, your subconscious will simply not believe you. So we need to be smart. If you wish to have more money or a higher income, say, I am prosperous. Your subconscious will start to believe you. You may have very little money in the bank at the moment. You may even be broke. What you are doing, however, is planting seeds for future prosperity. More later. The practice of affirmations allows us to replace some of our stale, worn out and negative beliefs with more positive beliefs, ideas and concepts. It is a powerful technique, one which can in a short time transform many of our attitudes and expectations about life, and thereby help to change our world and what we create for ourselves. Affirmations can be done silently, spoken aloud, written down, or even sung. Even 10 minutes a day of repeating effective affirmations can counterbalance years of old mental habits. If you become aware that you are repeating habitual negative inner speech or thoughts, try affirming a phrase to yourself a few times right there and then. For example, instead of thinking, "What's the use? I'll never get what I want," you might say to yourself, "I have the power to create what I want in my life." Equally, affirmations are not to be said each day as vain repetitions. There must be an emotional feeling generated within your conscious upon the repeated reading or saying aloud of your affirmations. Your affirmations describe the person you desire to be, and therefore, the emotions you create within reflect your desire to be who you want to be. To frame your day means to put your affirmations that describe the person you desire to be at the heart of the start and end of the day. In the last chapter, we looked at the importance of having positive thoughts about your desire already fulfilled all day, every day. We used the analogy of soil being the subconscious mind in which we plant good seeds that bear the fruit of what we wish for, and the importance of only sowing the right seeds. Your written affirmations describe the concept of yourself, the person you want to be. So we will put a frame around the soil using these affirmations, describing your new state of consciousness. In other words, they describe who you are if you already have your dreams and desires fulfilled. Once you have written your affirmations, there will be an exercise to complete at the start of the day and at the end of the day to reinforce this frame. Upon waking every day, you will say aloud your affirmations, believing they have already manifested for you. This is to say that you will live each day in the belief that your wishes are already fulfilled. There then follows in the next section an exercise for the end of each day to complete the frame, which again uses your affirmations. Throughout the rest of the day, it is important that your thoughts remain positive and supportive of your dreams and desires already fulfilled, as they are seeds planted into the soil, which is the subconscious. Daily use of these exercises at the beginning and end of the day will attract positive thoughts during the day to make life easier for you as you progress. Further, and above all else, Do not do anything in your outer physical world to manipulate events, people, or circumstances to speed up the manifestation of what you desire. People and events merely reflect your inner state of consciousness. Wait to receive ideas and hunches to take action during the day, which you are to follow through because they are from your subconscious. Wait for these to appear before acting, otherwise do nothing. This may feel strange at first. It did for me for sure. However, have faith and follow through with them even if at first you do not foresee the outcome you expect. You have not, nor will you ever manifest anything except through the subconscious, so learn to trust it. If you change the concept of yourself, you will attract the things you desire without any need to interfere with people, events, or circumstances outside of yourself. We will look at writing affirmations in more detail at the end of this chapter. For now, I believe it is worthwhile introducing the exercise to complete at the end of the day first. Understanding this will help you write solid and short affirmations that will work for you, as you will see how we are going to use them beforehand. In the first part of this chapter, I asked you to prepare your affirmations, and then repeat them aloud several times when you wake every morning to describe the person you desire to be. This new exercise is to practice already living in the new state of consciousness that fulfills this desire, and to mentally forget the old state. It must be a preoccupation of your mind that you live in the new state all day, every day, and to imagine feelings you enjoy if your desire is already fulfilled. Now, in this equally important exercise, I ask you to review your day before you sleep at night. Compare actual events with what you desire to be according to your affirmations. Then mentally revise the events of the day in your imagination so they perfectly match your affirmations. Do this exercise every night as you lie in bed. Firstly, take out your affirmations and read them aloud, once again as a reminder. Then, just before you drift off to sleep, strive to build your attention, moving through the activities of the day in reverse order. Start by focusing your attention on the last thing you did, that is, getting into bed. Then move your focus backwards in time, over all events until you reach the first event of the day, which is waking up. As you review your day, identify where events or circumstances do not agree with your idea of the person you want to be as described by your affirmations. Get out your daily calendar if it helps to remind you of your day. Revise, i.e. correct, those events that did not go according to your wishes, with a scene using your imagination according to how you want it to be. Perhaps you want to be debt-free, but you receive an unpleasant letter from somebody you owe money to. Mentally rewrite the letter to read that your balance is cleared. With your imagination, reread the letter to yourself about 3 to 5 times in accordance with the revised wording. If the letter is unpleasant news about somebody else, then rewrite the letter in the appropriate manner on their behalf, in love. This is no easy exercise. However, it will greatly increase your ability to focus your attention on the right thoughts to manifest what you desire. Your attention must be developed, controlled, and focused in order to change your concept of yourself and thereby manifest your desires in the outer physical world. You might be thinking at this point that this seems a lot of effort if you want to manifest just a watch. Indeed, though in this case you only really need to imagine putting the watch on in the morning and then taking it off at night. This is a slight extension of the manifestation process itself. If, however, you want to meet the love of your life and live with them, then yes, there will be much more to revise. But what is the cost really? You have the power within to manifest anything. For example, let us assume you want to be happily married. Even if you have not met the right person, you can imagine they are lying beside you in bed. You can mentally imagine kissing them goodnight. Hear them say, "Good night, I love you." Feel the wedding ring on your finger. Imagine eating at the dinner table and what you might talk about. Go back as far as possible to the start of the day and imagine having breakfast together too. One of the best tips I have is to imagine somebody saying something as if you are living in the new state you desire. We nearly always want something that involves other people. So if you want to live with a loved one, then imagine them saying something that implies your wish fulfilled. Try to be as specific as possible to avoid ambiguity, such as, "I love you, Dan. You make me so happy." Strive to revise your day with constant practice until the revised scenes feel ever so real. You can expect to be rewarded with changes coming quickly. You will find that people are more positive to you because you imagine they are that. However many people it takes, they will align to fulfill your desires. Do not, however, think of horrible things occurring to others. Such thoughts only sink into your own subconscious and will boomerang such horrible things happening to you. This exercise is not a remedy or excuse to keep having a day full of negative thoughts. You must aim to enjoy positive thoughts all day, every day, from the perspective of living in the feeling of your desires fulfilled. If executed properly, repeated practice will lead you to attract more positive thoughts during the day. Attention is developed by repeated exercise, and eventually it becomes much easier. If you persist night after night, sooner or later, you will awaken within you a center of power. In the course of time, this will create greater change in faster time. Just as your morning affirmations are to be performed when your mind is still primarily in the theta state upon waking, it is equally important to perform a mental revision of your day when your mind is in the theta state prior to falling asleep. Then fall asleep in the midst of doing this revision. It does not matter when. All those programs of negativity and limiting belief that your mind soaked up like a sponge before the age of 7 will be erased night after night. I cannot stress enough the need for discipline in order to reprogram your subconscious with repeated and persistent suggestion. It is not the amount of times you do this that matters, but the need to make it feel natural, to feel the emotions of living from your desired state. This approach I learned from Neville Goddard, who writes of it extensively. I find it to be incredibly valuable and well worthwhile being persistent with. Learn to love the process of revising your day every night. Neville Goddard used an analogy from the Bible of a vine and pruning shears to illustrate this exercise. You daily prune the vine, removing the branches that are not serving you, and thereby keep the vine healthy, i.e. in anticipation of becoming the person you desire to be. You can, of course, perform this exercise at any immediate time of the day if something happens, such as receiving a letter with unpleasant news. If something happens that gives you a severe negative and emotional reaction, then I refer you to the letting go technique in chapter 14, which you can use any time of the day. Finally, say thank you every night as per the manifestation process. This accepts the desire you have as already fulfilled and will again suggest to your subconscious you are grateful for it finished. So for the remainder of this chapter, let us look at writing your own affirmations. In doing this, I will describe how I write affirmations that work for me with some examples. By the end of the chapter, if you follow the instructions, you will have a list of your own affirmations. Now, I am not saying this is the best way, or even the only way. It is what has worked for me. Consider your list of affirmations to be a living piece. You can and should update them periodically, possibly every day at first, until you have more practice and are more comfortable. The most important thing about affirmations is that they are written in the present tense, such as, I am wealthy. Affirmations must be in the present tense, not the past nor the future. To state what you want is yours now. There are exceptions, but I expect that 90% of affirmations will start with I am. Another example, therefore, is I am prosperous. That is, that you are prosperous now. If you use the future tense, you are telling your subconscious you want something in the future, and you will never receive it. There are an infinite number of possible affirmations. Here are a few more to give you the idea. The best affirmations are ones that respond to an empowering question. An empowering question takes the form of, why am I so wealthy? Or, why am I so loved? The key to writing excellent affirmations is to first create the best empowering question that will work for you. I then add about 5 to 8 affirmations that answer this question and which forms a description of the person I desire to be. The first response or phrase should be something you truly believe. In doing this, your subconscious will not doubt you. Starting your affirmations with something you truly believe quickly creates a positive emotion inside you. Then add a second and third response that builds your faith. In total, I add about 5 to 8 responses to this empowering question that are affirming who I want to be. Here is an example. I suggest you stop the video and read this aloud to yourself to get the feel. In this example, you will see that the last phrase would normally be quite difficult to believe by itself. But after you have said the previous phrases, it becomes easier to believe. If in your case it does not, then change it to something that does. An empowering question is one that encourages your own subconscious mind to come up with the answers, which then becomes your affirmation or affirmations. Remember, your subconscious knows you only too well, so you have to be smart. Consider another question. Why does money always flow to me so easily? Now here the mind reacts positively because you are presupposing the positive part of the question is already true. In this case, if the question still makes you feel uncomfortable, then rephrase it until it does and build on it from there. Here is another example. Again, the first affirmation is believable, and the last affirmation feels more believable after you have said the previous phrases together. The better your empowering questions, the better will be your affirmations. Your subconscious mind, when it receives information like an affirmation, will try to deny it. However, when an empowering question is used first, the mind will always try to justify its response. Affirmations can be said at any time, whether at prescribed periods in the day or spontaneously whenever you feel a little low or negative. We will look further at options in the next chapter. The important thing is, however, not so much the words, but that the words create the right feelings in you. Create positive, successful feelings, and they are working. Create negative feelings, and they are not working. It should and must always be the role of affirmations to be a stimulus for the creation of positive emotions inside you, of already having your dreams and desires fulfilled. Repeating affirmations over and over without feeling achieves nothing. If they are not working, then simply edit or change them completely. I also highly recommend learning your favourite affirmations by heart. This enables you to repeat them over and over and is especially useful if walking the streets, but not, of course, when you are in charge of a vehicle. If you know the words, you can spend more conscious effort on generating the right emotional state within, in alignment with what you wish to manifest. Also, by repeating the words of your affirmations by heart means your subconscious is far less able to doubt the words being spoken. There is as well a technique known as rampaging, where you repeat your affirmations over and over quickly, as well as adding more positive phrases at the end, which we will look at in the next chapter. You can create as many affirmations as you require. I have about 10 at any one time. You do not need to use all of them every day, just the ones you feel you need. I often only say about 3 to 4 a day. We will look at some more examples of these to be used for specific areas of life such as health, wealth, in part 3. To use the law of attraction to your advantage, you do not ask, you claim. Claim boldly by affirming. Remember, the outer world is only a perception. Your reality is inside your mind. It is your consciousness. You will soon realize the outer world is nothing more than a fluid which flows easily when you adjust your consciousness. So think and believe you are the person you are creating. With affirmations, you will believe more and more that you are that person you desire to be. This is a particularly useful way to use affirmations that is worthy of mention here. Why not record your affirmations and play them on a loop to listen to, for example when you lie in bed? You may have seen there are many so-called bedtime affirmations available online that will play for several hours with the idea that your subconscious will soak up what is being spoken. Many of them are good, some I am skeptical. They can be hours long, but are you really going to check them all the way through before being sure of what is being said into your subconscious as you drift off to sleep? So be cautious. The ones I use personally tend to be by well-known teachers such as Dr. Wayne Dyer. Instead, why not record your own affirmations and play them on a loop as you fall asleep? You can then be sure of what is being said to your subconscious mind, and it is in your own voice. There is various sources of free recording software available online, such as Audacity. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to record your affirmations, and then you can easily loop them into a recording lasting say an hour. Again, it is the feelings the words create that is important, and not the words themselves. So when you record your affirmations, say them with as much positive feeling as possible. Affirmations is a powerful approach that can be used to build your faith and believe that you are the person you desire to be to manifest your dreams. Affirmations must be written in the present tense, not the past nor future, so that they affirm who you are and what you want is yours now. Nearly all of useful affirmations will start with, I am. Key to making affirmations work is that you believe them, and that they trigger positive emotions of the feelings you would have if your dreams and desires were already a reality. Just saying the words repetitively is not enough. Use them to create the feelings inside. The simplest approach to create affirmations is to write an empowering question first. You can do this easily by taking a positive affirmation that fits your needs and simply rearrange it into a question. The better the fit of an empowering question to what you desire, the better the affirmations will be when said repeatedly to your subconscious. You can respond to this empowering question with a list of affirmations, and your subconscious will then seek to ensure that what is being said is made real. I have found the best way to use affirmations is to repeat them over and over, first thing in the morning when the mind is receptive. Then in the evening I review my day, and if something has happened that goes against my affirmations, I create a scene with my imagination to change the event and its meaning, to align it to what I wish to manifest. I call this framing your day, and will ensure more of your daily thoughts are in accordance with the dreams and desires you wish to manifest. The biggest benefit of using affirmations, however, is that you are taking responsibility to build your faith in who you believe you are, rather than letting your outer physical world control what you believe.